And
Again,
so you don't really
apologize.
have to encounter the political other. You don't have to practice being nice, right? You don't have to necessarily. And the time that, and when we do meet, it's often, if you've, and I wouldn't recommend this on anybody, but if you read the comment section of anything, I mean, it could be like,
Oh yeah.
how to make banana bread. At some point, the comment section is going to go off the rail, and people are going to start saying horrible things. I mean, just it's
I know.
and so
I know.
and part of I think what generates that is there's the anonymous other. You can be sort of your keyboard warrior and your
Biggest problem I think we have, if we note that, this is my thought of it. You have to say whatever you want to say. Fine, put your name on it. Okay, all right, do that, and then we clear up those comment sections that I love because they're so humorous at times. Or also they're just full of vitriol and
like
hate. But I do understand that.
and I mean humor could be I guess it depends on the kind of humor because if it's self-deprecating that's kind of nice but those comment sections are just I mean
Oh, they're brutal.
they're is that the term vituperous is that the
All right,
vituperous
another
uh,
chat GBT we
yeah
look
that
up,
might
but
be
yeah, I'll go with it.
they so so they're if the goal is how to be able to connect with not only is it a political lens, but I think there's also a generational lens because I remember I grew up without the internet, and I grew up that the social commons, the places we met people, were in church or in school, and you were just forced to be around people who didn't think and feel like you necessarily. I mean,
Right.
there was a homogeny growing up in a small Appalachian town.
Yep.
There was a degree of homogeny that you might not get if you were in the Bronx, but still there was at least some level of diversity that you had to encounter, and I don't that's not something that's really and I don't think it happens anymore. I don't
Well,
think.
yeah, people are isolating themselves because it's easier. Look, I've got this screen, and it tells me everything that's going on, at least to the most, for the most part. I'm okay with that. Why do I need to reach out to other people? I mean, I guess also underlying what you're saying is that there's a divide of actual interaction. You're saying there's less interaction. If I came on your campus and walked around for a day and just, what would are people stopping on the benches or eating lunch or doing? I mean, is that, and so that's kind of how what I have in my head about it. But I'm also wondering if they're just people who are kind of closing the ranks a little bit in their own groups, or hey, it's too much trouble to do these things. I'm going to become, I'm going to hide behind my screen, and I guess the stereotype would be in your basement somewhere. But the ideal would be, no, just in general, it's harder to reach out and connect and interact with people.
Mm.
So maybe that's another divide is there's just not that energy going toward connecting with others. It's easier not to.
Well, I think that we have to think about there's generational differences. If you are a digital native, then you typically think of connecting to with people in ways that, again, that was not available to me at least initially. The internet came around, it did come around eventually, but
Right.
they uh, and I remember when they talked about the internet as this new thing where you could talk to where it would suddenly bring the whole world together, and there would this be network of connection, right? And
Promises.
and what it's and when I think about my son, like he knows people from all over the planet, talks to people. I can hear him. Sometimes I'll hear him in there, and I don't know what game he was playing, but there were some folks from Thailand, and he's trying to talk to them, and he's learned enough of their language to try to to guide them through this thing. And he's talking to them, and he's talking slowly, and then
Yeah.
they're talking to him. And I was like, well, this is interesting. I would,
Now,
that wouldn't have happened to me.
now the mission is to go around the corner and kill the other guys on this video game.